What's up, fam? This is your boy ELJEFE, and I am back by popular demand. So a lot of people were asking me to do an updated top 5 list. So what I've got for you today are the top 5 true wireless earbuds under 100 bucks ANC edition. So all of the ones in this video are featuring active noise cancellation. Now, if you're interested in checking out any of these earbuds for yourself, hit the links in the description box down below, and that's going to take you to the latest updated pricing. Now, before we go any further, and for full disclosure, because I like having transparency and honesty with my viewers, all the earbuds on this list were sent to me by their manufacturers for my honest opinion and review. Now, if this is your first time here and you're not familiar with the way that I do things on this channel, whether I go out and buy the products myself or if a company sends them over to me for review, I'm always going to keep it 100% real with you and let you know whether or not they're worth your hard-earned money. Now, no money was exchanged between me or any of these companies in order to make this video, so they're going to be watching this for the very first time at the same time that you are. Also, before we get started, make sure you stick around to the very end if you want to hear the microphone call quality test on all of these earbuds. I'm going to save that for the very end of this video, and that way I can do all the call quality tests back to back so you can hear them one after the other. So make sure you stick around to the end if you want to check that out. So now, we've got a lot to talk about here, so grab your drink, grab your popcorn or your snack of choice, and let's jump right into it. Now, as is customary, I'd like to give a shout out or a honorable mention to a certain set of earbuds that almost made it. So essentially like a number 6. So the one I've got for you here are the Tribit FlyBuds NC. Now, the reason that I really did like these was because of the sound quality and the volume. So overall, they got an 8 out of 10 on the volume scale, which is very good. And they had excellent sound, strong bass, some pretty decent treble, and some very neutral mid. So overall, very dynamic sound, nice and punchy, fun, good to listen to. My issues with it came with fitment and with sealing. I had a lot of trouble getting these to fit my ears. It almost seemed like the stem on them was a bit too short for my ears. Now, this is going to be a me problem, not a Tribit problem, but the fact that I was having trouble fitting them and having trouble getting a proper seal is the main reasons that kept them off this list. Secondly, because I wasn't getting a really good seal, the ANC seemed to be a little bit off. So even when I switched out the tips over to a set of my spin fits and got a proper seal, still the ANC didn't really block out a lot of the low frequency tones that I was expecting. So it kind of wasn't performing up to what I thought it should have been. So those are the reasons why I kept them off of this list in the number 6 spot. Overall, as far as an earbud goes, they are very good and they do deserve an honorable mention on this list. So now let's move over to the number 5. So the one I've got for you here is the TaoTronics SoundLiberty 94. Now, this is the only one on this list that is featuring Bluetooth 5.1 along with the AAC and SBC codecs for quality. As far as range goes, these have got 45 feet or just about 13 meters for all of my friends overseas. They also feature dual connects, so you can use these individually while the other earbud is charging. As far as controls, these do feature full touch controls, including volume control in the control scheme. As far as battery life is concerned, they were claiming 8 hours with an additional 24 hours in the case. In my testing, I managed to pull 7 hours and 10 minutes with the active noise cancellation turned off, and then I managed to get 5 hours and 27 minutes with the active noise cancellation turned on. So overall, not bad. As far as charging goes, they do use USB Type-C. Unfortunately, there is no Qi wireless charging on these earbuds. As far as water resistance rating, these come in at an IPX5, so they got you covered as far as rain, splashes, and things like that are concerned. And then let's head over to the ANC. So the ANC on these is okay. I think it could have been a little bit better, it could have blocked out a little bit more, but the reason I had to place them a little bit lower is because it does affect the audio. For some people, it'll be affected in a good way, for others, it'll be affected in a bad way. It just depends on what kind of sound you like. So to be specific, they add a little bit of extra bass when you turn that noise cancellation turned on. So if you're a bass head, you're gonna love it because it's gonna be like active noise cancellation and bass boost at the same time. But if you're somebody who likes to have a cleaner type of sound and you don't want bass muddying up your mid-range, then this is definitely gonna be a negative thing for you. As far as the ambient sound feature is concerned, it is, I would consider to be a bit subpar because it does bring in a lot of external white noise. So instead of just focusing on like voices and traffic and things of that nature, you're picking up a lot of environmental hiss, which I really didn't like. Over time, it can be a bit too much. So if you do get these, I wouldn't recommend leaving that ambient sound on all the time. Use it as needed, but then shut it off. At least for me, it got a bit annoying. So that's just something that I wanted to make clear as far as that goes. And then as far as volume is concerned, these got a 7.5 out of 10, so very good, and more than enough for what I need comfortably listening to these, 75, 80%, not gonna be a problem. As far as sound quality is concerned, very dynamic, very punchy, strong bass, and it does roll off a little bit as far as the treble is concerned. So if you're somebody who's looking for more of that treble clarity in your earbuds and headphones, this is probably not going to be the one for you. But if you're a bass head and you enjoy having that strong punch, then these are going to be a good choice. So now let's move over to the number 4 on this list. And in the number 4 spot, we've got the Edifier TWS NB2. Now, these guys are running Bluetooth 5.0, and they've got AAC and SBC as far as their codec is concerned. As far as Bluetooth range, we've got 35 feet or just about 10 meters. They also do feature dual connect, and they do have a low latency gaming mode. So that's definitely a plus in their favor. As far as controls, they do feature touch control, which works fairly well, but unfortunately they do not have volume control in this control scheme. Now, they also do have a companion app for these guys. It's called Edifier Connect. Initially, right when you open it up, you do get to see the battery level of each earbud, and they do have toggles in there where you can turn the active noise cancellation on and off. You can turn on the ambient sound, and you can actually adjust the volume of that ambient sound. But unfortunately, there is no customizable EQ, there are no programmable controls, and there is also no way to switch the language. So these earbuds right here are straight up in Chinese, at least as far as I can tell. So figuring them out took a little bit of work, but as long as you have the instruction manual, or if you download the app, it does have a manual built right into it that'll tell you what all the controls do. So as far as battery life is concerned, they were claiming 7 hours with ANC turned on and an additional 18 hours in the case. In my own personal testing, I managed to pull 6 hours and 29 minutes with that active noise cancellation turned on. But when I turned that active noise cancellation off, I managed to squeeze 7 hours and 54 minutes worth of playback time. So overall battery life is pretty good on these earbuds. And then as far as charging goes, they do use USB Type-C, and once again, unfortunately, there is no Qi wireless charging on these. And then as far as water resistance, these are running an IP54 rating, so they do got you covered for your basic splashes and things of that nature. And then as I mentioned before, these do have in-ear detection, so you can put them in, it'll start playing, you can pull them out, it'll turn off, and in the app, you can adjust that. You can make it to where it doesn't do it at all, or you can make it to where it only stops the music when you take them off, or you can make it where it starts and stops the music. So they do give you some full adjustability as far as the in-ear detection. Hadn't seen that before, so that's kind of cool. Next up, let's talk about that active noise cancellation. So the active noise cancellation on these is actually fairly good. But much like the TaoTronics before it, it does give you a slight bass boost in the audio. But it isn't so much to where it really ruins the audio. But if you're not into that kind of thing, then these might not be the right ones for you. And then as far as the ambient sound goes, it's actually one of the better ones of this bunch. It doesn't pull in a ton of white noise. I would say probably mild at best, but the fact that you can adjust the volume of it makes it much more useful, at least in my personal opinion. As far as volume is concerned, these get a bit louder. So these are an 8.5 out of 10 on my scale, which is pretty loud. It's gonna have most of you volume junkies covered, so no issues as far as volume is concerned. Sound quality wise, this is Edifier. So we've got strong, punchy bass. The mids are nice and neutral. They're not super recessed, so it comes in nicely. And then they've got some pretty decent treble. Not the clearest earbuds out there, but noticeably better than the TaoTronics before them. So nice treble to it. You can hear vocal tones, you can hear singers, you can enjoy your music, and it has that warm, rich, dynamic sound. So overall, very good and exactly what I had expected from Edifier. Now, before we move into the next section, I got a question for you. So which do you think is more important on a set of true wireless earbuds? Active noise cancellation or ambient sound? Which do you think is more useful to you on a day-to-day basis? Let me know down in the comment section. All right, so coming in the number 3 spot and making their first appearance on my channel are the Tozo NC9s. So these are featuring Bluetooth 5.0, and they also run SBC and AAC as their codecs. As far as Bluetooth range, you're getting 40 feet, so just about 12 meters. And these do also feature dual connect, so you can use them individually if you want to. These are also using touch control, and they do include volume control along the way. And then as far as battery life is concerned, they were claiming 8 hours with an additional 24 in the case. In my own personal testing, I managed to pull 6 hours and 58 minutes with that noise cancellation turned off. And then I also managed to pull 5 hours and 41 minutes with noise cancellation turned on. So overall, not bad. As far as charging, they use USB Type-C. Unfortunately, once again, no Qi wireless charging on board. And then as far as your water resistance rating, these are running an IPX6, so a bit of an improvement. You can definitely get them a bit more wet, work out in them, things of that nature, not going to be a problem. And then as far as the active noise cancellation is concerned, this is where these are definitely picking up. Stronger ANC than some of the other ones on this list in previous positions. So blocking out a bit more of that low frequency noise, whether it's air conditioner, refrigerator, fans, things of that nature, definitely doing a good job as far as that's concerned. Right out of the box. As soon as I got them in, got a proper seal, didn't have to really mess around with switching out too many of the ear tips to get the proper size, and I was good to go. So seriously, I was very impressed with these as far as noise cancellation is concerned. And then we have the ambient sound. The ambient sound on these is okay. So much like some of the others, it does pull in a bit of that white noise. So that's kind of, you know, something that's going to be a recurring theme as far as a lot of these earbuds are concerned, under $100. But hopefully this will be something that as we move forward, as we progress through 2020 into 2021, this will be something that more companies are going to be working on and improving. It is there, it is usable, but it isn't one that I would leave on all the time. And then as far as your volume goes, you're getting a 7.5 out of 10, so still very good. Comfortable listening on these guys, 85%, not going to be a problem. And then as far as the sound quality is concerned, this is where these truly shine. And being the fact that this is the first Tozo product that I have personally tried, I am definitely impressed. This is a great first impression. The audio is immersive, strong bass, good mids, and very clear treble. I was truly impressed. It almost gives you almost like a 3D type of sound effect, not overly like done, but just enough to where you kind of feel like you're in the music. And overall, I think it's very nicely tuned. Obviously, there's always room for improvement, especially in budget true wireless earbuds, but still very good. Not the greatest that I've ever heard, but definitely something impressive. So in the number 2 spot, the long-awaited Tronsmart Apollo Bold. And by long-awaited means I had to wait 2 freaking months for these to arrive. So finally got them, finally put them through their paces, and here we are. These are running Bluetooth 5.0. They've also got AAC, SBC, and aptX, the only ones on this list with Qualcomm's aptX codec. As far as Bluetooth range, you're getting 45 feet or up to 13 meters. They also do feature dual connect, so they've got you covered if you want to run these individually while one of them is charging up. These do also feature full touch controls, including volume control. So as far as battery life is concerned, they were claiming 7 hours with the active noise cancellation turned on with an additional 25 in the case. In my own personal testing, I managed to pull 5 hours and 9 minutes with the ANC turned on, and when I turned the ANC off, I managed to pull 7 hours and 52 minutes. So they're getting far better battery life with that noise cancellation turned off, obviously. But overall, still not bad. Now, these do also feature USB Type-C for charging, and they do have the fast charge feature on board, where you could drop your earbuds in for a few minutes and it'll give you like an hour extra worth of playback time. So fast charge is also here. As far as the water resistance rating, they do carry an IP45 rating, and they also feature in-ear detection. So if you take them out of your ears, they'll pause. If you put them back in, they'll play automatically. So they've got that there. So now let's move over to the active noise cancellation. So these have strong active noise cancellation. And this is one of the main reasons why this is towards the top of this list. So very good at blocking out a lot of the ambient sound, a lot of the low frequency stuff. Very, very good. Now that's also dependent on seal. So you do got to mess with those ear tips to make sure you get the right ones that'll properly close out the sound. But once you do, strong active noise cancellation. I was definitely impressed here. And then when it comes to the ambient sound, this is actually the best implementation of ambient sound on this list. So very, very low amounts of external white noise. They do a much better job of blocking out some of that type of sound and just focusing on voices, cars, traffic, things of that nature. So definitely better than the rest on this list. That's one of the things that truly impressed me. And then as far as volume is concerned, these are getting an 8.5 out of 10. So definitely very good as far as volume is concerned. Volume junkies are going to be very happy with these, and they've got more than enough volume to have everybody covered. And then as far as the sound quality goes, the bass on these is kicking, like bass cannon level type of bass, like a lot of it. So decent mids, good treble clarity, like very, very good, very clear, very bright. So it's very bass boosted, very treble boosted, like a deep V type of a sound. So if you like that type of sound signature, then you're going to be totally in it. But if you're more that audiophile type of listener, this might be a bit much. But overall, I mean, very, very good. So now they do have app support coming soon. So there is a Tronsmart app available for download. Unfortunately, it doesn't support these as of the making of this video, but it is coming sometime in September. So by the time you watch this video, these might already have full app support. And in the app support, it's going to have preset EQs, and hopefully, fingers crossed, they'll have an adjustable EQ. So hopefully that'll be the case, because with an adjustable EQ, I think these are going to be some serious contenders for that #1 spot. So overall, very impressive. So this is going to bring us over to the #1 spot of this list. And for this one, we've got the JLAB Epic Air ANC. Now, if you're interested in a full and complete review of these particular earbuds, go ahead and check out the link I'm going to leave in the description. So I just dropped the full review a few days ago, so make sure you check that out if you want all the total details on these. So these are running Bluetooth 5.0, and they're also featuring AAC and SBC for their codecs. As far as range is concerned, you're getting right around 35 to 37 feet, so anywhere from 10 to 11 meters. These are also featuring full touch control, and they control everything. And I mean everything, including volume control, but also like all the other features, EQ, movie mode, ambient sound, ANC, tracks, I mean like everything. So they've got you covered as far as that goes. They also feature dual connects, so you can use them individually while the other one is charging. They also feature a movie or low latency mode. So this is something that's going to reduce latency when you're watching movies, so you don't have any syncing issues with the people that are talking on the screen. But another good use case for that movie mode is for gaming. So if you're going to be playing any first-person shooters or anything like that, this is definitely going to help out with reducing that gaming latency while wearing the earbuds. But beware, movie mode and like high performance mode, gaming modes, things like that, they do negatively affect the battery, so just be aware of that. As of the making of this video, these do have an app coming soon. By the time you watch this app might already be available. And the app is really going to add a ton of value to these earbuds. It's going to feature full customization over controls, full customization over EQ, and it's going to give you control over the ANC and the ambient sound. So I've seen some screenshots of it and I am truly impressed. I'm just waiting for this to release so I can fully test it out. But by the time you watch this might already be available, and this is going to be even more value added to these earbuds. Now, as far as battery life is concerned, they were claiming 12 plus hours with an additional 36 in the case. In my own personal testing, I managed to pull 8 hours and 7 minutes with noise cancellation turned on. That is some serious battery for some active noise canceling earbuds. And then with the noise cancellation turned off, we're getting 13 hours and 52 minutes. Dude, that is insane. That's Galaxy Buds Plus territory for battery life. Pretty wild. Now, these also feature the JLAB standard built-in USB-A cable, but they also featured Qi wireless charging, the only ones on this list with wireless charging on board. And then as far as water resistance, you're getting an IP55 rating, and these also feature in-ear detection, so they will play and pause when you pull them out of your ears. So now let's get into the performance. So as far as the active noise cancellation is concerned, it is very strong, very good, and further improved if you're going to use their included memory foam tips. So nice and strong, blocks out a lot of the ambient sound, blocks out a lot of the low frequency tones, does a very good job as far as that's concerned. And one of the things that I really do like about the ANC on these is that it gives you that gradual buildup. So like, it isn't where you like turn it on and it's like instant ANC, so it can be sometimes a little jarring. You turn it on and you'll notice that it slowly pulls you into the active noise cancellation over a couple of seconds. So I really like the way that kind of eases you into the silence, which I'm totally with. I really do like that. And then these also do feature what they call Be Aware, which is ambient sound. But this is something where they did need a little bit of work. Now, JLAB is addressing this already as far as their microphones go, because in my testing, they did pull a lot of external white noise in. So they do have a firmware update coming as soon as this app goes live. I'll be able to firmware update these, and hopefully that'll go ahead and take care of those issues. But as of the making of this video, and same thing I said in my review, the ambient sound did pull in quite a bit of external white noise, so I really wasn't a fan of it. But this is something that, like I said, they are working on, so hopefully we'll see some improvements as far as that goes. Now, as far as volume is concerned on these earbuds, these are going to give you a solid 8 out of 10. So this is a noticeable and marked improvement over previous JLAB earbuds, which I would have given like a 6 or a 7 at best. A lot of people complained about the volume on them. These are definitely improved as far as the volume is concerned. And then as far as sound quality is concerned, you've got your standard 3 EQ settings that come with all JLAB earbuds. You've got the JLAB signature, you've got the flat or neutral, and then you've got the bass boost. Not really a fan of the bass boost or the neutral. I like to stick with the JLAB signature, which is slightly boosted bass and some boosted treble. So overall, it gives you a more fun and dynamic type of sound. It is that JLAB type sound. To me, it sounds very good. Nice punchy bass, especially with that added volume. Now, like I said, one of the really cool features is the fact that they are going to have an app coming, and hopefully it's already out by the time you're watching this video, and that is going to give you fully customizable EQ with the graphic equalizer. And I'm pretty sure from what I saw in the screenshots that it's going to allow you to go ahead and save those as presets for yourself. So that's going to be something pretty cool where you can make those adjustments yourself. I love tinkering with that stuff. So you're really going to be able to dial these in to get the exact type of sound quality that you want. So I think that's going to be a pretty sweet feature if you ask me. So now, as I said before, that this was going to be a close race for the #1 and the #2 spot. The reason I say this is because at the time of making this video, neither of their apps had been released. So I can't make any EQ adjustments based on their own companion apps. So this is something that I may have to revisit at a certain point, which one of these is actually the better one as far as sound quality is concerned. So look forward to either a versus video or something else that's going to come up as soon as both of these do get their apps released. So, but like I said, the #1 and the 2 spot is a tight race, but the JLABs, they definitely added that extra little bit that put them into the #1 spot. So now let me go ahead and give you the back-to-back microphone test on all of these earbuds.
All right, so here we have the call quality test for the TaoTronics SoundLiberty 94. Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Obviously, I am indoors in a semi-quiet environment. Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, so here we have the call quality test for the Edifier TWS NB2. Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Obviously, as you can tell, just like the other tests, we are indoors in a semi-quiet environment. So testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, so here we have the call quality test for the Tozo NC9. So testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Just as before, we are in a semi-quiet environment indoors. Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. So here we have the call quality test for the Tronsmart Apollo Bold. So testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. As usual, we are indoors in a semi-quiet environment. So once again, testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. So here we have the call quality test for the JLAB Epic Air ANC. Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Indoors, semi-quiet environment, same as before. Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2.